A, B, C and D are said to be in proportion if A upon B is equal to C upon D. You can also say A and B are in same proportion as C and D. These four dots are used to represent proportion, and here B and C are called as means and A and D are the extremes. If we cross multiply here, then A into D will be equal to C into B. That means product of extremes is equal to product of means. Here D is called as fourth proportional to A, B and C. Okay. Then we have continued proportion. If A, B, C and D are in continued proportion, then A upon B will be equal to B upon C will be equal to C upon D. If only A, B and C are in continued proportion, then A upon B will be equal to B upon C. And here, if A, B and C are in continued proportion, then C is called as third proportional to A and B. Okay. So we have fourth proportional, third proportional, and we have mean proportional. Mean proportional between A and B is root of AB. Then there are some properties related to proportion. Of course, B and D cannot be equal to 0 as we have B and D in the denominators. So first property, if A upon B is equal to C upon D, we can take reciprocal both the sides or we can invert both the sides and we will get B upon A is equal to D upon C. This property is called as invertendo. If I take C here to the denominator and B here to the numerator, I will get A upon C is equal to B upon D. This is called as alternando. If I add 1 both the sides, if A, B, C, D are in proportion and I add 1 both the sides, A upon B plus 1 is equal to C upon D plus 1 and take the LCM, we will get A plus B upon B is equal to C plus D upon D. This is called as componendo. Instead of adding 1, if I subtract 1 from both the sides, A upon B minus 1 is equal to C upon D minus 1. Then A minus B upon B will be equal to C minus D upon D. This is called as dividendo. And divide this third equation by this fourth equation and we'll get this fifth one. A plus B upon A minus B is equal to C plus D upon C minus D. This is componendo and dividendo applied together. So we have sum in the numerator and difference in the denominator. Moving on to next property. If these are in proportion, A, B, C, D, E, F, if A upon B is equal to C upon D is equal to E upon F, then if you add all the numerators, A plus C plus E and so on, and you add all the denominators, B plus D plus F and so on, the ratio remains unchanged. Okay, the ratio will remain K only. It was K here, it will be K only here as well. Also, it need not be plus sign everywhere. You can have plus and minus sign randomly between these A, C and E. There is just one condition, that the sequence, only the sequence of plus and minus signs should be same in numerator as well as denominator. Even when you multiply both A and B by P, both C and D by Q, and both E and F by R and so on. Now if you add all the numerators, add or subtract all the numerators randomly, add or subtract all the denominators, the ratio will still be K only. Okay. The sequence of addition and subtraction, the sequence of plus and minus sign should be same in numerator as well as the denominator. If you raise all the ratios with same power n, A raised to n, C raised to n, E raised to n, and in denominator we have B raised to n, D raised to n, F raised to n, add or subtract keeping the sequence same in numerator and denominator, the overall ratio will be equal to K raised to n. Okay. These were a few properties of proportion. We'll solve a few questions in the next one. Thank you.